It's been a lag. Sorry, it's been a lag. We're lagging a little bit.
Good evening. We'll start that again. Hello and welcome back to the Dugout Football channel. Time for the Group D preview of the FIFA World Cup in Qatar. And joining me, well, I have a very, very special guest. As you can see, we have Mr. Jersey Boy. How are you, Jersey Boy?
I'm doing very, very good, representing the champions. Hopefully back-to-back champions of the World Cup. Number 3 incoming. So I wanted to come here and represent France, of course, because I want to go full into the squad, my thoughts as a Frenchman myself, and we can go really into detail and stuff. So I'm excited.
Yes, I bet, especially with the champions curse over them. But we will get into it as well. We're also going to speak about, obviously, France have picked their squad, Denmark have picked their squad, and Australia, the only team that have not picked their squad in this group, is Tunisia, as far as I'm aware. So we will get into it. We will say hello to a few people as well. Hello, Nicola. Hope you're good. I see Serbia named their team today as well. And hello, Hella, as well. Hope you are very, very well as well. Right, there's only one place to start, isn't there? There is only one place to start, and that is the champions of the world, France. And this is their squad. So we will go through it. It is Lloris, Areola, Mondonda, Upamecano, Varane, Kimpembe, Konate, fantastic to see him in there. Saliba, Pavard, Hernandez, Koundé, and Theo Hernandez. Fofana, Guendouzi, Rabiot, Chouameni, Camavinga, Veretout, Benzema, Coman, Dembele, Giroud, Griezmann, Mbappe, and Nkunku. What a squad, Jersey Boy! What a squad!
For me, the only concern is midfield, right? For me, I wanted Mignon to make it. Just for the sake of the stream today, every time I pronounce a French player, I will do it in French, as in we say it in France. The weird thing is when we say Hernandez, you say Hernandez, we say Hernandez. That's the way we say it in French. So we got a lot of positions. So for example, we got Lucas Hernandez. He can play centre back and left back. My concern is we've got no backup right back. I wanted Jonathan Klaus. He didn't make it, which is a shame because I think he's been very good for Marseille. Very happy that Konate and Saliba are in it. Very, very happy. The defense is as it is. I think it's completely fine. The only concern is that right back backup, because if Pavard's injured, we're gonna have to pay Jules Koundé at left back. Is it left back? No, right back. Sorry. Midfield though, this is where it gets a bit concerning, but a lot of people don't know about this midfield. We got Youssouf Fofana. He's from Monaco, plays in Monaco. Bit of an 8. I think he will be very good to play in a pivot with Chouameni, but I don't know what Deschamps wants. I know, knowing Deschamps, he's going to play Chouameni, Rabiot. Because to be fair, I've got to give it to Rabiot. He's been very well for Juventus this season. Camavinga, we played Camavinga and Chouameni once in a pivot. I think it was in the Nations League, and the Camavinga had been more for half time because he had a disaster class. So I think this is not the game for him to play him for pivot with Chouameni. So But look at the attack. I think we've got the best attack along there with Brazil. We got Karim, Coman, Dembele, Giroud, Griezmann, Mbappe, and Nkunku. Knowing Deschamps, Griezmann's going to start every game.
Yeah.
But I understand that because Griezmann was one of the vital players who won us a World Cup. So, but
yeah,
I want to see Nkunku start, not Griezmann.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Yeah, I think it's absolutely fantastic, and obviously fantastic to see obviously Ibrahim Kanai. There are a few questions about obviously Manya, and I believe that he
Injured. Bad injury.
Yeah. So I'm sure that the World Cup will come around for him very, very soon. Maybe 2026, of course. But you got three fabulous goalkeepers in there. I think the big question mark is obviously Lloris. I think there's been a few question marks over obviously him playing.
I don't want to. The thing is, listen, I love him because he's the captain and he's a very inspirational captain. Very, 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 very good for 2018 World Cup. Made one mistake. I think that one mistake against Croatia stopped them from getting the best goalkeeper of the competition. But for me, Maignan would have started if he was available, not Lloris. We've seen Lloris the last couple of weeks. I'm very concerned. I think stop giving him the ball because I'm very concerned. He's not very good with his feet. You saw what happened with Callum Wilson. I don't want to see any of that crap. Yeah. But for me, at least Lloris is going to be that leadership, but he needs to get his arse into gear because I don't want to see him do this crap.
I suppose, obviously, the other thing we obviously have to talk about, I'll get that off the screen very, very quickly. Champions Curse. Because the last time, obviously, France won the World Cup, when they had the Champions Curse over them was obviously 1998. They won the World Cup then. They went out of the group stage in 2002. Are you a bit wary about the Champions Curse?
No, not at all. And I'll tell you why. I think if the group was more difficult, I would say yes. But I think this is going to shock people, right? People might be going, oh my God, you have no faith in your team. France are finishing second. And I'm telling you why, because Denmark is my bogey team.
Yeah.
World Cup 2018 0-0. We lost twice to them in the Nations League. They just seem to have their thing over us. And I believe we'll finish the group unbeaten, but we probably will get a draw at Denmark, a high-scoring draw. And I believe we might concede one or let's say we beat Australia 3-1, then beat Tunisia 4-0, then 1-1 draw against Denmark. I think that one goal against Australia, maybe that one goal that puts Denmark ahead of goal difference.
Interesting. Deschamps, is this his last tournament?
Yes. Zidane's coming in January.
Okay.
Very, very good media that the French TV have said that I watch regularly. They said that no matter what happens in this competition, Deschamps could win the World Cup unbeaten. You could beat every team 5-0 and be the best ever World Cup campaign ever. From what I've heard, no matter what happens, this World Cup in January, Zidane's coming in.
Oh, well, there we go. You have heard it there first. First, good evening, Shane. Hope you're good as well. It's a shame Manya didn't make it. Yeah, well, it is a shame. It is a shame.
It's a shame. He's a fantastic goalkeeper, but he's just this is a problem with having a World Cup right in the middle of the bloody season. There's just so many bloody injuries.
I know. It's a shame about.
I've just seen the joke. Fantastic dad joke, by the way.
I have seen it.
Gotta clap it.
I'm afraid the calendar's days are numbered. Hello, Chris. Hope you're good. I hope you are very, very well. As well. Yeah, I mean, I have to say that. I am looking at this. I am looking at potentially Denmark for potential top, just because I think they're one of the dark horses as well. I think this, especially Kasper Hjulmund, the Denmark coach. But no, France have got a fabulous squad. It's just whether or not they actually can perform. And I think we've seen as well that in the Nations League, nobody really takes most notice of the Nations League, but I think as well, like France were winning the World Cup as well. Do you think he might be a factor for them?
For who? Sorry, my thing cut out.
France.
Well, the things that are quick by the Nations League, right, is I think I like what Deschamps did in Nations League. People will be like, Tunisia got relegated. Here's what.
Yeah.
France have 0 friendlies before the World Cup. Neither do England.
Mm-hmm.
But Deschamps didn't do what Southgate did, which is actually try and win games and fail miserably. Deschamps decided, I'm going to use the Nations League as a friendlies. So, for example, you switch it out like every game, different goalkeeper. He will go. He played the very youngster, a very, very young 20-year-old centre back. He's only just played for the France team. He then tried Coman right wing back. Then tried Rabiot in there with Guendouzi. Then tried Tchouameni, Guendouzi, Tchouameni, Camavinga. He's been trying the midfields out. Then you've seen Giroud start, Benzema start. You've seen Nkunku start, etc. So what I like about the Nations League is even though we were shit in the Nations League, I think it's because he was experimenting so much with different tactics. And the good news is what I've heard on Dear Fan, which is like is the equivalent of the France's BBC, right? And they've apparently, from what I've heard of there, he's going back to a back 4, which I like because I don't like this. For the World Cup, not World Cup, the Nations League and the Euros, we kind of switched this 3-4-1-2. So remember, I think it was Kimpembe, Luca Hernandez, and Varane. Then you had Theo left wing back. Then you had Pavard wing back.
Yeah.
Then we had Pogba, Kante. Then you had Griezmann, Benzema, Mbappe. I don't like that because I want wingers. For me, this is what I'm going to have Hope's channel. My lineup is this against Australia because I think Deschamps said Varane's available for Australia, but he has not played in a little bit. So for me, he's not going to start. He starts against Denmark, though, 100%. For me, it's going to be, if I go now, I'll go Lloris, Theo, Saliba, Koundé. I know of Konate, but I think Saliba, Koundé have got a good partnership. So Saliba, Koundé, Pavard. I'm actually going to go Tchouameni and Youssef Fofana in midfield.
Okay.
Because I think you can ask Tchouameni to sit back a bit, do the defending, CDM, and Fofana push up a bit. And then 10 Nkunku, right wing, Ousmane Dembele, left wing, Mbappe, and obviously Benzema up top. I'm going Dembele because I know Dembele can't finish for crap. But how fast is the amount of chance he makes? He can make so many chances for Benzema and Mbappe to eat up. So that's what I will go. But I know for a fact that's not what Deschamps is going to go with. But
absolutely. It's better than Zidane manages France instead of PSG. Absolutely. What's Chris coming in with now? The England team visiting over for in Qatar just before the World Cup. It's heartbreaking to see their sad little faces with no hope, said Hassan. Dear Chris. That's bad. Kingsley Coman should be starting.
For me, Coman should only be starting if Dembele is not fit, doesn't play well, or if Pavard's injured. Then you can actually play. We've tried playing Coman at right wing back. My problem is he's like Trent. He can't defend. So
right.
We'll see. So for me, I'd rather play Jules Koundé right back if we have to play it. So that's what Coman.
Very, very interesting. Yeah, we will speak about Denmark now. They have picked this squad, so we'll obviously go through it. Kasper Schmeichel, Oliver Christensen, Simon Kjær, Joachim Mæhle, Rasmus Nisten Christensen, Daniel Vass, Jens Stryger Larsen, Andreas Christensen, Joachim Andersen, Victor Nelson, Matthias Jensen, Pierre-Emil Højbjerg, Thomas Delaney, Christian Eriksen is back in the team as well. Good to see that as well. Kasper Dolberg, Andres Skoff Jolsen, Andres Cornelius, Jonas Wind, Mikkel Damsgaard, Martin Braithwaite, and Jesper Lindstrom. Yeah, that is a very good squad, Jersey boy.
Very, very good. Good to see Kjær back. He had a massive leg injury a couple of months. I think it was, I can't remember when it was, but good to see Eriksen back. Of course, you see on the kits there, they've blackened out the logos and stuff in like a kind of small protest against Qatar. But, you know, I think this is a great squad. This is why I've said to you that I think Denmark finished first. And I think France could finish first and win every game. But the problem is I'm saying that Denmark will win the group because it's every team, every club has their own dark horses and dark horse and bogey teams, and the bogey team for France is Denmark, and I think Denmark will just. I think France and Denmark will finish the same amount of points. But I believe that maybe their squad's very good. Vast, very good. Christensen, he hasn't had much. It's Andres Christensen. That's the one from Chelsea, right?
Yeah, that's the one at Barcelona.
He's barely played for Barca.
Yeah, I know. The only thing I'd say about this squad is that my Schmeichel hasn't had a very good time of it in Nice recently. In fact, I did hear something. I don't know who it was from, but apparently he might potentially be looking for a move already, which is quite strange to say the very, very least, because obviously it was a strange one when he left when he left Leicester. Joachim Mæhle, I have to say, as a fullback, playing as a sort of I know he's a right back, but he has made that left back berth his own. Obviously, good to see Joachim Andersen there. Obviously, of Crystal Palace as well. Mikkel Damsgaard, I know he's not getting much game time at Brentford, but when he is on it. This Denmark side, there's not much change from the Euros team.
No. One person I think in there, which I don't think should even be in there, is Martin Braithwaite. The guy's like a grandpa now. He's not starting. I don't think he starts. I think it's Damsgaard.
Yeah.
Or Cornelius will win. You start. Not Martin Braithwaite. No way.
Yeah, I mean, Denmark. I've put their dark horses, and
I do agree. I do agree with you.
Yeah, I honestly think that they have a good chance to go far in this tournament. And Kasper Hjulmand is a very, very good coach for Denmark as well. I mean, the one thing for me is, if they do go far, is who they could potentially face in like the quarterfinals. Like I am looking at the bracket. I think I'd read somewhere potentially like a Mexico in like the last 16 or the last 30. It's that could be interesting. That could be very, very interesting. But when I look at the squad, I'm like, yeah, very, very good side. Very, very good side. Obviously, you got the captain, obviously, of Denmark, and obviously Simon Kjær. You've obviously got Kasper Schmeichel in goal. Joachim Mæhle, who I'm a big, big fan of as well. And then obviously it's great to see Christian Eriksen back, especially after what happened at the Euros. And actually playing very well in them. I wouldn't say in a good Manchester United side. It's an okay Manchester United side, but Christian Eriksen for me is their best signing of the season so far. And
I do agree with you, Doug. I really do agree with you. I think Eriksen's been playing really well, but I think Eriksen's been playing a little bit poorly recently. But that's because he's been made to play as a 6. He's not a 6. He's an 8 or 10.
Yeah.
And he played a little bit last night against Villa, but we all know the only reason United won that game was because Olsen is an absolute shit goalkeeper. But Denmark are very, very good. That's why I've got the top of the group, because because the Rogue team always draw them. But I think Denmark could go quite far.
Yeah, I agree. I think Denmark could go pretty far as well. Dembele is good but never finishes chances. And Nicholas says, good to see Eriksen back. Yes, it certainly is good to see Eriksen back. The Aussies, Australia, they have gone with this squad, and we'll have a wee look at it again. Not much surprises. Obviously, Matt Ryan, of course, in goal. Andrew Redmayne, by the way, wait until you see Andrew Redmayne, if he does play. Played in goal against Peru.
I saw that. That was hilarious.
And Yeah, his antics on the line was quite interesting.
He was like doing some like dances or something on the line, and he managed to save penalties as well.
I think he'd been watching Jersey Dudek actually. I think he'd been doing that. But no, most of these are actually Scottish Premiership based, which is quite interesting. Obviously, Kai Rolls of obviously Hearts, Aaron Moy of Celtic. You obviously got Martin Boyle back at Hibs as well. Jason Cummings used to obviously be at Hibs as well. Cameron Devlin. One name I haven't seen in there though, which really does surprise me, but hasn't really played much for West Brom, is Tom Rogic.
I don't know why he's not in that squad, but looking at it now, I think Australia have a good squad, but I just think for me, I think they might not have the edge like Tunisia have. Unfortunately, we haven't got the squad for Tunisia, but
yeah,
I think it's Australian team. Maybe it might be tight between Australia and Tunisia for that third and fourth place, because I think, as I said to you, I think talking to a lot of people won't know about the curse. I think the curse for me has happened because there's just a lot of teams that when they win the World Cup, their egos are through the roof. And they just like, oh, we've won it. We can win it again. That's not the mentality you should have. You should have the mentality is we should make ourselves deserve to go back to back. And that's why I want France to go with. And for example, with Germany, they won it. But the second year, I think they did have their group was not that easy. They had a good Sweden team. We got to the quarterfinals, by the way. They got South Korea, which was it South Korea? South Korea, wasn't it? Yeah, because I think Son scored. They looked all right. And they had one more team. Who was the other team in that group? Germany.
So Germany had Sweden, South Korea,
Mexico.
Yeah,
Mexico looked all right. So you can see, if you look at that group, that's quite tough. If you look at France's group, it's just France and Denmark who are the tough teams. So I think if you had maybe, let's say, Japan in there or someone else like that, then we can maybe say the curse could happen. But for me, the group is too weak for the curse to take place.
Yeah, Australia are not what they once were. I remember the days when they had like players like obviously Mark Viduka, Tim Cahill, etc. But this squad, I mean, it is a good squad. My only worry is obviously for them, like forwards. I don't think Graham Arnold is not a really, attacking minded manager. He's more of a defensive stability manager. So look at this squad. I mean, Matt Ryan is an interesting one because he obviously Real Sociedad, of course, still plays there. But Nicola's actually saying a lot of Balkan names in that Australia squad, and you have to say it's pretty true.
Very, 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 very true. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Australia though. But I've got a funny fact for you, Doug. I don't think you knew. Did you know that this group is 99.9% of the group of the 2018 World Cup? If it wasn't for Peru, if Peru was in this squad, it'd be the exact same group. When we won the World Cup, it was France, Denmark, Australia, Peru.
Wow. There we go.
So I'm telling you, it means something. It means they're going to beat Croatia in the semi-final again.
Yeah. But for you, is it an early exit for them?
I think for Australia and Tunisia, I think the Australia-Tunisia game will be the decider.
Oh, right. Interesting. Yeah, I do. I don't know. It's just it's just gets to me. I don't know about you, but for me, I don't think Australia got enough to qualify. No, I don't think they've got enough to qualify.
I think fourth. I've gone fourth for me. I think Tunisia will get third.
Right. Well, we will speak about obviously Tunisia because we can't have obviously we don't have a squad to show you because their squad is actually being announced on the 14th, I think, which is obviously Monday. But many people forget they actually had a very good Africa Cup of Nations.
They did. And if I remember, didn't they? I think they wouldn't qualify, but they got knocked out by Egypt on pens, right?
It was, yeah. It was
So
Egypt on pens.
They kept Egypt calm. They kept Egypt calm. They kept Egypt calm. They didn't let Egypt win the game in 90 minutes. They had to win the penalties, and obviously their backup keeper for Egypt was having the tournament of his life.
It was.
So they were unlucky in that front. But for me, Tunisia, if I remember, Tunisia played England, and I think Tunisia were good enough that they kept England to, I think, like a 90-minute winner from Harry Kane.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they did.
Tunisia aren't a bad team, but I think there's a major difference between Tunisia and Australia. And I think they won't qualify, but they will get a solid third place, and I think it will. I think it will come to that fourth game, the third game. So no, it's France, Australia, France, Denmark.
Yeah.
Then I think it's France, Tunisia. So I don't know which, or do we know which of the three games? When are Tunisia playing Australia? Do we know?
I will check that right now for you, because obviously we know that the World Cup obviously starts next week, doesn't it? It's come by so quickly. So it is Denmark against Tunisia, and then obviously France against Australia, which is a very good game to watch as well. Tunisia Australia is actually the 26th of November.
God, this is a joke, honestly. It's the same as the last World Cup, because I believe the last World Cup, France's first game was France-Australia.
Are you kidding? Wow,
So
wow.
Of the last World Cup as well. And I believe we beat Australia. I think we beat Australia 3-1. What was this? I'm trying to just have a look at the score, because I remember Paul Pogba had a ridiculous kind of shot, and it somehow went over the line. France v Australia 2018. I can't even spell 2018. That's a mare for me. France Australia 2018. It was 2-1. It was an own goal in the 80th minute. And that was on the 16th of June. I believe that was the first game we played. But I will double check for you. But move on, Doug. I will quickly double check for you. That was the first game for France.
Oh well, there we go. I mean, it goes to show though that Tunisia are one of those sides where I don't think many people would probably expect them to potentially qualify, but with players like obviously Wabi Kazri, like a Hannibal Mejbri, which will obviously he probably will be in the squad. We want to see African nations do well. We want to see African nations do well. Now, Tunisia did really well at the African Cup of Nations. I must say that now. They did very, very well to get very, very close to beating Egypt. They beat Nigeria, of course, which I don't think anybody expected them to beat Nigeria. So they could be a bit of a shock, an unfancied one.
There you go. Look at that right here, Doug. Look at that. World Cup Group C, game number 1, Australia. And France was the home team. It was Peru, then Denmark, and then we drew 0-0 to Denmark. You can see I can't actually believe, looking at it now, how it's exactly replica of 2018. Australia first game, literally the same group except Tunisia's in it.
Yeah.
And we've still got some players from that 18 squad, so it's gonna be a fantastic World Cup. I cannot wait.
Yeah, I bet. As all evening, Chris. Hope you're good. Evening, lads. Back from my family trip at Blackpool. Blackpool.
Nice.
I bet you enjoyed that. Oh, excuse me, Chris. Get your prediction in the chat. Let us know what you think about France, and obviously Denmark, Australia, and Tunisia. Yeah, I think if Tunisia were to get something from Denmark, and if they were to get something from France, then they might have a chance. But I just think Denmark and France, are the two strongest teams there. As well, but as we said, France have obviously got the champions curse over them. But I do think this time around, I don't think there'll be any problems in qualifying.
Nice. Chris has gone exactly the same as me. Denmark, France, Tunisia, Australia. Exactly the same as me.
Denmark, France, Tunisia, and Australia. Yeah, I'm not giving anything away. I'm not giving anything away or anything like that. You'll see my group stage predictions at some point next week. Not sure when, but you'll definitely get my my predictions very, very soon. But what are you most excited about at this World Cup?
What am I most excited about?
Yeah.
With the World Cup, just to see France play, but there's some tasty fixtures like Germany, Spain. I cannot wait.
Yes.
That's going to be a tasty fixture. You've got good games there. You've got Portugal, you've got Argentina, Mexico. That's going to be tasty as hell as well. England, USA, because, for some reason, both countries have got a bit of drama. For me, I'm not a fan of this World Cup. The reasons pretty much everyone's got the same with as well.
Yeah.
But it's a World Cup. Yeah. I don't care when it is. At the end of the day, it's the World Cup, and I'm a very patriotic man. So I will back my country no matter what. And now is the time where I'm getting when it's Christmas and you're going ballistically excited. I'm going like that now. So I cannot wait for the first game against Australia. And for me, the only way I could see us winning the group is, again, as you said, if Tunisia can get something.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Chris has gone Denmark, France, Tunisia, Australia, as has Nicola. Deschamps, welcome to the end. Well, Chris, I know you've just tuned in late. Basically, Zidane is to take over. Apparently, according to reports, he is to take over in January. So this is Deschamps' last tournament.
Yeah.
This is Deschamps' last tournament. Denmark, France, Tunisia, and Australia. Hello, Edita. You're good. Message my childhood hero. I hope he wins a World Cup to end his career. Yeah, I saw a tweet which I had to laugh at. They basically said Lionel Messi's in Argentina's World Cup squad. Come on. You say that Lionel Messi's in Argentina's World Cup squad like that's a surprise. He was always going to be in the Argentina side.
You see, he hasn't played for PSG for a little bit, so we maybe who Argentina playing first?
I think it's Saudi Arabia.
We might see Messi not play that game then.
Yeah, they got Saudi Arabia first.
Saudi Arabia, then I can see Messi drop for that game then, and maybe you could come on like last 20 minutes, get a little bit of fitness after not playing PSG, and then start next game.
Yeah.
It's like same. It's like for me, same with Rafael Varane. You could do kind of something similar against Australia and bring him on.
Yeah, absolutely. Christmas walk. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I needed that Blackpool trip's been my mind. No problem. Hope you had a good time. Some say Tuchel takeovers.
I think if Tuchel got the England job, England have a good.
Yeah, he's a cup manager, isn't he? He's more of a cup manager as
he is.
Tommy T. As well. I saw one Virgil van Dijk is selected for Netherlands, of course. Vlahovic has made into the Serbia squad in time since he was injured with Juventus. That's good news. And Penny Houdini, hello. Senegal is a dark horse team. I agree. And the big news is that Sadio Mane is in the Senegal team. So
very happy with that.
Yeah, I have to say I am very happy with that.
RMC Sport said he was out of first, and I think they went back and said that. I think it said. I think the Bayern have been they haven't been talking to Senegal properly and saying everything, and I think they've been waiting. I think 99% sure Mane does not start first game.
Yeah.
Or second game. You might see him last game of the group stage, but they have good enough players Senegal to go through without Mane. So I think even if Mane got injured in the competition, it was out. Yes, it's not good, but I think they can still do well.
Yeah. Hello to Kimberly. Hope you're good. It's good to see you in the chat. And obviously, one Sheffield United supporter will know that Ndiaye is in the Senegal squad. So obviously, congratulations to him. Obviously playing well for Sheffield United right now, isn't he? First World Cup I remember seeing is World Cup 2014 as a Messi fan, and it was magical till the final. Yes, it was. It was. Oh, 2002, Adita. 2002 was the first World Cup I watched. I was just a little bit too young for 1994. Well, actually, I was only 2 years old, so I don't really remember I don't really remember it. Anyway, 1998, I was 6, so again, didn't really get into that. But the first World Cup I really got into was 2002.
You're going to be crazy when I hear this, Cookie Dog. 2018, and I'll tell you why.
2018.
For me, when I was watching, for a lot of my childhood, I got scared of football. I think it was I was training. You know, when you were little, you start training football stuff like that, and I think I got hit right in the face with a football, and I had this phobia for so many years of any sport where there's anything that has a chance of hitting you in the face. So
wow.
I hated football. I hated watching it. I hated talking about it. I was cussing all footballers. I was like, oh my God, doctors should make more money, blah, 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 blah. They're awful people. I hate this sport, whatever. And I think my dad wasn't got on, and I was watching 2018, and I was watching England, Colombia. That was the first game I ever watched.
Wow.
And I was watching it, and I was like, it made something in me, like, excited about it. Then I started watching, and when I went to France for the holidays, I watched France, and that's when I really, really fell in love with football, and especially the French national team. So for me, that was 2018, and I'm happy that happened because, you know, look at me now. I've been watching football for so many years now, and the channel's doing so well. So it's good.
Yeah, definitely. Ali News is in. Good evening. I can't believe Mario Götze is back in the squad. They're also saying Argentina fans should be scared. 2018 for me. My first World Cup watch was 2014. Yeah, there's a lot of good World Cups. I relate to me. I got hit by a hockey ball in my temple, and I'm still scared of it. Well, there you go then.
God, hockey ball! My God.
Yeah, evening all and Chris Welsh. We are all with you. Sorry about the abuse you got earlier. Yeah, I did see that. Do you guys think Mario...
What happened, Doug?
Oh, it was... I don't know. Chris, let me know in the chat if you want me to tell what happened. But
let me guess. Does it involve an application that's called Twitter?
No, it doesn't actually. It was a comment that he got actually.
That is actually the most surprising thing ever, because when you talk about Twitter, that's the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah,
it's such a toxic app.
Do you guys think Mario Götze could bring something different to the Germany squad? Well, funnily enough, you saying that, I don't see him playing. I don't see him playing much. No. I think he's in. Look, Germany have got very, very good leaders. I'm surprised as well that Hummels isn't in the side. But actually, you know, oh yeah, you can tell him. Yeah, someone actually wrote a comment, and actually, I think Chris actually DM'd me earlier.
And this is on Chris's channel, right?
This is on Chris's channel. Yeah, I think he's deleted it now, but he deserves it. But basically, someone made fun of him because he's got problems with speaking. So it's I think it's a speech impediment. Yeah, he got a comment that said, I remember you from school having speech impediment problems at school, struggling to pronounce some words. It was so funny. You're still having them problems now. I remember you started crying at school because we were laughing at your speech problems. Are you going to cry again? Imagine having them problems at 23 years old. Embarrassing. This is why no one comments. They can't understand what you're saying. Come on, Weds. It's come on, Red. Chris, be proud of who you are, mate. Be proud of who you are. I had speech impediments until I was about 5 or 6 years old. I know how you feel. I know how you feel. So,
and it's something like for example, Doug. This is something that I talk to people a lot about when I talk about. Obviously, me and you are both autistic. We both got the same thing.
Yeah.
People, this is one thing that I see people need to go. you can cure autism. I'm like, you cannot cure autism for first. And two, I actually believe autism makes me and you who we are.
Yeah.
Without autism, we're completely different people. The autism, like, for example, makes me really interested in guitars. It's really interested in doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It makes you really, for me, it's the same with Chris. I think of, sometimes little things like that make you who you are. And, it's very clear that whoever wrote that comment probably has no friends, and it's no wonder why.
Yeah, absolutely. Good football's all we need. Tell them if you want. Yeah, you can tell them I play Revan. Yeah, absolutely, Chris. You're your own man, and I like how you're very to the point as well. You don't hold back. You're very to the point. Do not change, my friend. Do not change at all. It's really devastating for Marco Reus. Yeah, he missed the last 2 Euros in the World Cup. Now he's missing this one. So we're going to tell him for the injuries. He was insane. Yeah, he was indeed. Man, you can't take these people online seriously. Those people suck. Yep, absolutely. Cheers for the support. Appreciate it. No problem, mate. No problem at all. No problem at all. Hello, Douglas and Jersey boy. My first World Cup was 1990. I wasn't even born. I was not even born. And,
that was 9 years before I was born.
Nah, there you go. Feel proud of yourself, Chris. Being able to put yourself out there. No time, no place for nasty little place. Yeah, absolutely, Kimberly. Absolutely agree with you. Absolutely agree with you as well. Jersey boy, thank you very much for coming on and giving your thoughts on the World Cup Group D as well. Yeah, how what's that?
Klopp's banned tomorrow.
Oh, great.
Klopp's not playing. It's going to be Pep Linders tomorrow.
But
anyway, I really do appreciate it, Doug. Again, if you're doing any more content, if you require France, I'm down. I'm trying to do as much as possible because lots of people to talk to about France. As I said, there are a few people who are bilingual, but for me, I know a lot about the France team. Very, very happy. We've got loads more groups to go through. Love to see which guests you've got on next for the next few groups, and let's bring on probably one of the best World Cups. I know I agree with where it's at, whatever, but I do think it's going to be one of the best World Cups because it is going to be so good. So, come on, the Blues.
Absolutely. Le Bleu, of course. We go off easy because we're better at Southampton than...
Thank God. Yeah, I think if he got banned for Tottenham, it might be a different story.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, indeed. I'm back in
Yes,
France.
Perry,
I'm from Guyana, by the way. Wow. Well, very nice to see you in the chat from Guyana. And as I said, guys, in the chat, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Do what you can to support the channel, of course. And good to see new people come through. Anyway, Jersey boy, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it as well. Tomorrow evening, 5 o'clock, I have a live watch-along of Newcastle United against Chelsea. That will be a very interesting game. See if Graham Potter can get a better result. Anyway, but thank you very much for watching. Let us know your predictions for Group D as well. And as I said, there will be a group stage predictions stream coming. Hoping to be either Monday or Tuesday, but obviously this depends on what I'm obviously doing as well. But thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye for now.